Shall we play a game?
G'day viewers, here we go. Looks like the audio's on, looks like the game audio's on. Looks like we have some people. Looks like I have a mysterious monitor shoved under my desk, but I didn't notice it now. Move that. Right, now I can get in here properly. We are today going to be on the Talyllyn Railway. Yes, I know it looks like Talyllyn, but it's Talyllyn. Let me get you a link to what we're running. It's called Donationware. And by donationware, what I mean is if you buy this thing, or the Vestiniog, or the Welsh Highland, I can hear my own voice in my ears. That's weird. I've got to turn that on. It's slightly behind when I'm talking and it's very distracting. I'll figure out how to turn it off later. If you buy the route, the proceeds go through to the railway itself to help run the railway. So we're going to be starting off with Talyllyn and the vintage train. Now, ironically, the actual locomotive actually is called Talyllyn, when the railway is called Talyllyn, but they're spelt the same. It's a Welsh thing. Let's go. I am slightly convinced that the Welsh live to take the piss out of the British with their wordings and spellings in some of the words. Like, it's just kind of funny. Now, there are a few issues with this route, and this is one of them. So you just do F2 and cancel, and it'll be fine. So we are down here at Wharf. And yes, celebrating its 150th. They're celebrating some other things at the moment, and they've got a big fundraiser going on if you care to support them. There is a little museum down here at the end of the platform. But over here is... well, they've just got it represented by a short bit, but this is actually, what is it? Welsh Railways, yeah, and the real station's down here. And it doesn't really look anything like that, but that's okay. But then you just walk down to the Talyllyn, which I did on the day I came here, and I stayed locally as well in a very nice Airbnb, so it's very cool. I got to fire Dolgoch, which is not represented here, but when you do see it in the stream today, it will be in its wrong colour. And this loco, Talyllyn, is now a purpley blue. Hello, Rail Abel, Gareth, Anthony, and Michael, and anybody else who may be watching. So, rail driver's working, good sign. Shall we get out of here? We probably should. Oh, yeah, we need to let people in the carriages first. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? The people wandering around. The railways run from this little room behind these people. It's the nerve centre of the railway. And I know over here they have various display things going on at times. When you bring a train back, you run it around, bring it down to this loop, coal it by hand, which is pretty exciting. Run around the loop, back onto the front of the train and go. They also do services... I'm not sure what this little thing over here is. I don't remember that one. Guard says right away. Very good. Well, we have to wait for his whistle, though. There it is. And let's jump back onto the front of the locomotive. The cabs of these models aren't amazing, so we probably won't spend much time actually in the cabs. And I'm going to be driving with Rail Driver, I hope, today. Hopefully it works. Hey, C. They have fundraisers going all the time, so yes, Thomas is not an unusual fundraiser at all for them. Hopefully my sound books are open, that's better. Now these locomotives are very small, and they haul a fairly large load. Sooner or later it'll get moving fast enough that its wheels will actually go round. There we go, that's better. There we go. Hello, Rails of Illinois. I get the impression this doesn't like Rail Driver very much. We may change over to keyboard, but let's start and see how we go. Heading off towards the first station, which is Pendray, but in this particular scenario, we don't stop there. Pendray's where the locomotives are prepared each day in the engine shed. Hello, Carter Asher, how are you? Hello, C. Hello, Rails of Illinois. And the rolling stock is stored there as well. Now, I'm beginning to think this doesn't like Raildriver. Give it a bit more oomph and see how we go, but I am concerned at running out of steam using that much throttle. Makes me wonder, do we have a handbrake on? Look at that. Bloody Raildriver. There we go, that's going to be better, isn't it? I knew there was something weird using Raildriver. The macro that takes the handbrake off doesn't work when you've got Raildriver connected. I knew there was something. There we go. Happy now. Much better. Rails asked, don't steam locomotives drivers slip a lot? No more than anything else. So heading off through the cutting, through the Pendray Loop. Lovers Bridge, where you cover them in smoke and steam. Good rail fanning spot. Now, something that's visually in the game, but there's nothing actually enforcing it. You can see in the distance there's a red board. It's a bit hard to read it. And it actually says, stop until called forward. And the signaller in the box there would hold up a coloured flag, either a yellow, which means you're stopping, you're going to come into the station and stop, or a green, which means you're going through. So they've replaced that with pop-ups like that one. So we're going to be going into Pendray Loop, which is popping off to the side there. Steam locomotives are more powerful with the cylinder cocks closed rails, but you should not do it because you will blow the ends off your cylinders. It would make you very unpopular. Now let's just make sure it has actually set the points for us. It has. Hasn't set the one at the back though, so we'll set that one. So this is where the carriages are kept, in these big sheds over here. We go into the loop, and the whiteboard they're talking about is one of these that just mark the fouling point for the adjacent track. Sitting up there is Pendray engine sheds. That's where I reported on the day that I was firing on this railway, very early in the morning. Not as early as my railway, but still early. Hello Richie, how are you? Come to a stop here. Off goes the other train heading down, so we've just done a cross. And there's a diesel pottering around beside us. Moving some coal around. One of the huge challenges this railway faces, like pretty much every railway in the UK now, is they're running out of coal. Beware of workmen on the line, just west of Tymore Bridge. Temp 5 mile thing. Let's just make sure it didn't change those points again, because I did change them a bit early. No, they're fine. Alright, let's go. I know why you're awake so late, Richie. It's because you want to watch this. Rails, the steam loco can move with the cylinder cocks closed, not the cylinders, the cylinder cocks. Or drain cocks, or cylinder drains. People tend to be politically correcticizing them, but I just call them cylinder cocks because that's what they are. They are a cock. A cock is a valve. You have to go slowly through there so the gates have time to open. And then you can let it rip up to the unworldly 5 miles an hour that might in fact cause people to actually die. And off we go into the wilderness of Wales. Hello Violet, how are you? We're in Wales today. Oops, I'm going a bit quick. I'm naughty. But you can drive with the cocks closed, so if your cylinders are hot, you'll be fine. But if you've been sitting for a while, you will have built up condensation in the cylinders and you're going to want to get rid of it. Alright, we can now accelerate and we're going uphill, so I'll give it a little bit more reverser. They are a fairly primitive locomotive, these ones. They're a very simple design. But they run quite nicely. I think it's funny that Apple insists on advertising their products by putting "sent from iPhone" in the back of everything. Because you know what? We know you don't have the market share anymore, so no one cares. Those little orange blobs are our workmen. You can see the Welsh countryside is represented as about as well as you can in Train Simulator Classic. Slow down for our little workers so I don't run over them, because that's always slightly embarrassing if you do that. Had a very fun day on my railway yesterday. Looked like we weren't going to come out of the shed at one point. And I was sitting there trying to keep my locomotive warm, because we couldn't even move forward to do the boiler blowdown. We just had to sit where we were while workshops worked on an issue. Blokes working on the track here, drilling the hard way by the looks. Let's go and have a look. This is how you used to drill holes in wood. You just had a big metal rod and you beat the crap out of it with a hammer. Alright, we're past those guys now. We can put a bit more speed on, which is problematic because we are of course going uphill. It's not a massively steep railway, but the entire journey is uphill of varying bits. I'm glad you're feeling better, Violet. I'm warm now. I put this top on. Alright, let's give it a bit more oomph. We should be past the workers at the back now. Let's start picking up some speed. Shall we interview a cow? Of course we shall. It wouldn't be us if we didn't interview a cow. Morning. Do you find the train moving? Excuse me, madam. I don't know if you're aware, but you're doing an ostrich impersonation. You're a little down in the dumps. So are you. You're probably a little bit shorter than you're supposed to be. Oh well. Train! You're off to the UK with an art supply list. Excellent. If you are going to Manchester, I can give you an awesome art and craft shop to go to. Now, don't expect to actually be doing the speed limit in this train, because if you try to, you run out of steam. And it was pretty much the same on the day I was firing it. We didn't worry about doing the speed limit. We just went. Because only little tiny boilers. See? Itty weeny boilers. And they're actually pulling quite large trains. So, yeah. Little. We're not far off our first station stop. There's actually another there's a halt just here. Now this is one of the steepest parts of the line just here. And the local council in its infinite wisdom put a halt right about there for this caravan park over here. And people come and ride the train. Got some sheep. I think we've got a levitating sheep here. Did I just see a levitating sheep? My word, I did. Sort of just floating just above the ground. How malicious. The countryside that this line runs through would be a bit difficult to represent its actual beauty in Train Simulator, but they've done their best. And it's just an amazing place. So if you get the opportunity to visit Wales, I really encourage you to do it because it is simply stunning. How's our steam going? Steam's good, water's good, fire's good. Even though it's on automatic firing, you've got to keep a little bit of an eye on these locomotives because, yeah, things turn to poo quickly. Doing a high-end opera tour. Fair enough. Thank you, Rail Label. Oh, look out. We've got mixed species in the same paddock. What will ever happen? Probably nothing. Because, you know, mixed species work out quite entertaining, generally. Should probably put the HUD back on, shouldn't I? Starting to go uphill again here, so I probably shouldn't power off. One of the interesting things about this railway just passing that farm gate, something that we certainly don't do in our railway, even though we do have farm gates crossing the tracks, is they actually call every farm gate and they'll go, gate left closed, gate right closed. And they slow down until they know for sure. The other thing that was relatively amusing on my firing trip on our second run, about this curve coming down the hill, coming back the other way, we came across a ewe and her little baby sheepy, her lamb. And we basically followed them at lamb speed, which is about 2.5 miles an hour, until they found a place where they could get off the track. And I was thinking, this engine crew's really nice. My railway, we probably would just run over them and captured them and caught them for lunch. But no, this railway, very nice. Looking after their universe well. So we started to go uphill again now. The entire railway goes uphill all the way to Aber. There is a sufficient use of L's in everything in Welsh, yes. They love their L's. Train's feeling the gradient. But I was kind of amused with the Welsh because it's kind of funny. If you're sitting in a pub and they got to know I was an Aussie because they're a chatty lot, they really are, and you're chatting with them and they're chatting away happily in English. The whole pub's talking in English. And then someone who is English comes through the door, the whole pub instantly, there's no communication. It just instantly, they all start talking Welsh and it's like, you bastards. Their whole life is taking the piss out of the English, I'm sure of it. Do you want me back on the other side? I moved it over here for the tram simulator because I was covering up its HUD. And the 218 as well. because I was covering up some of the dash on the 218 that you actually need to be able to see to know how to drive it. Coming up to Abergynolwyn. Coming back onto the flat through here before we get into the station where it gets a bit steeper again. You warn the station master that you're coming, because every station has a station master. Doesn't matter how small it is, doesn't matter if it's even a pile of rocks, it's got a station master on this railway. I was really impressed, because the railway runs in this tiny town called Talyllyn, and there's probably only, I don't know, 200-300 people live in Talyllyn, I would guess. And it really seems to me like most of them work on the railway as volunteers. It's just amazing. The support that the local area gives this railway is stunning. Speaking of lovely little piles of rocks, here's one here. An ancient pile of rocks building with an ancient pile of rocks bridge. There we go. Let's get the doors open. Let our people in and out. I think my favourite thing about Welsh words, Violet, is a place like Llangollen. It's spelt Llangollen, but it's pronounced Llangollen. So I'm still trying to figure out when the double L's become a TH. And sometimes they become a T instead of a TH. All clear to proceed. Very good. Let's wait for the whistle, though. Off our way to Bringlass. We would have a new token at this point. And away we go. Let's come up here to watch the little loco. See here, you've only been sitting a short time. What rails, so you could leave your cocks closed like I just did. Because everything's going to stay hot and it won't fill up with water. The clearances on this railway are tight. Very, very tight. You stay inside the cab, because if you don't, you'll have your body edited by the wayside. And they've done the sound quite well in this, because such amazing tiny locomotives. See, right now they'd be calling gate left closed, gate right closed. But for such a tiny little locomotive, they have quite a strong beat. Very deep bass beat. No, definitely no stretch room. And there's no riding on the outside of the loco. Going up again on our way to Bringlass. Do you like the train? Nay, it's noisy and disturbing. Yes, please do whack the like button, because it helps promote the stream so other people may come along. Coming into Bringlass, we have to stop here and change tokens. This railway works on a token system. It's a little bit like what we use on Puff with the staff and ticket, but they can issue multiple tokens for the same section, which is not something we can do on Puff. We can only issue one. We resort to staff and ticket for the other parts of the journey. Gate left, gate right. Mafric asks, did I see the new 2006 timetable for the Diddletor barn? No, I haven't, actually. I am told the 218 runs there, which is something I didn't actually know, and I have yet to try it. Actually, for those of you who do have the 218, are you seeing the services on Maintalbarn for it? Because I've had a couple of people tell me they can't see them. And I have a faint suspicion, I haven't had time to try it yet, but I have a faint suspicion that you have to choose the train first and then choose the route. And if you, maybe if you choose the route and then the train, you don't see them. So I don't know why that would be, but it seems to possibly be that way. We are coming up to Bringlass, which is just up on our left there. It's only a very brief halt. And going in the uphill direction, they probably changed tokens on the fly. We did both trips. We didn't actually stop. The game wants me to stop, so we will. Just reading back through the chat. While it says, like the Kiwi was pronounced woo or what? As, yeah. The boiler on these locos is so little that when the driver whistles, you can actually see it in the steam gauge. It goes, and then it goes back up again. Because they're little tiny trains. Still full height in the cab. I was able to stand in there without any issues. The 218 is pretty good, see? I would have to say it's probably the most bug-free release that has come out. I did find one issue which has been fixed. Actually, I'm not sure if the fix has come out publicly yet, but in the build I've got, it's been fixed. And if the issue was that if you ungang the dynamic brake and the air brake, you would then have to apply the air brake. Otherwise you stayed interlocked, and that's been fixed. Here's another one of those halt until called forward signs, so you'd be watching up there at the block post for a flag. On the down trips, when we were heading towards Wharf, we did stop here. But on the uphill trips, they're more kind to the driver and didn't make us stop. But it does want me to, so I will. They do pass trains here. So they'll put the downhill train over in this right-hand side. The downhill train stops in the station first. So it's at this point the fireman would lean out and hand the signal of the old token and take the new one. Try and stop with as many of our coaches actually in the platform as possible, because they don't all fit. About there, I think. I went past the... See, that's interesting that say stop, you need the token, because that's silly, because you actually pick up the token on the way past. But, no. Me trying to get all my coaches in the platform undid me for that particular stopping point, but that's okay. That's fine. Now wants us to go on to Dolgoch and get water. I'm not even allowed to open the doors. Poor passengers can't get out. Never mind. Oh, stopped in a tree. I just saw the back of the locomotive disappear as we went past then. For those of you who saw my post, the good lady shovel that was carried... I don't know why shovels are girls, but they are. Shovels and steam engines are always girls. So don't ask. Hideous man thing, but there you go, they just are. Live with it. No longer a virgin, broken in yesterday. Wasn't even always in my hands. I had a trainee with me yesterday, unexpectedly. We had an engine cleaner who was the kind that's very, very hard-working and very curious and very interested in the locomotives. So that's the kind that you go, hey mate, do you want to come for a run with us? So he watched me fire on the way to Lakeside, and then I asked him, do you want to fire a section? And he went, hell yeah. Hello, Caleb. So I let him fire from Lakeside up to Emerald, and he did a really good job. So I said, do you want to fire the next hill as well? And he went, get out of my way. So he fired the next one as well. He had an awesome day. In summer, I would have really loved it because I wouldn't have had to work, but it was cold and wet yesterday, and I was standing on the outside of the locomotive pretty much getting soaked, only coming back in to warm up occasionally. But that's okay. Plenty of people did that when they were training me as well, so it's just a give-back thing. We continue our uphill climb. It's fairly gentle uphill at the moment. I'll probably come back to 2/3 and give it a bit more steam. Yes, we will still accelerate. Daniel Robert Jowett, hello. See what I mean? The more people who like the stream, the more it pushes it out to people who know me. And if we keep liking the stream, it'll get pushed to people who don't know me. It's actually quite a clever mechanism based on audience reactions. The cat stole my coffee. Really? Excellent. I wouldn't put it past a cat. At about 6 AM this morning, I had my door shut for no readily apparent reason. And at about 6 AM this morning, there was a violent beating on my door. Yes. Mind the gap. And it's got a map. You can't really see it, but it's actually got the tube map inside the hoodie. So if you need to know where you're going, you just put it on backwards. And you can read the inside. But the violent bashing on the door was a cat. Now, it didn't want to come in. It just wanted to bash on the door because the door was shut, and I offended it. Because as soon as I opened the door, it just sat there looking at me. It didn't come inside. Heading towards Dolgoch, there is a massive viaduct at Dolgoch and some very impressive waterfalls. I took video of the waterfalls, but I'm not sure if I put any up as a short. I probably should. The terrain is relatively faithful. It's not done all that prettily on this, but given the kind of development it is, that's not that surprising. But the locomotive does basically slowly climb up what is a mostly fairly gentle gradient. You can do it, little one. So if you're riding the railway, I suggest you ride the first train. Get off at Dolgoch. Go and walk to the waterfalls, walk around the waterfalls, take the trails. They're very scenic, very pretty. If you do the whole trail, it'll probably take an hour and a half, which conveniently is about the time that the third train comes through up to Abergynolwyn. Violet says her cat has ruined a few laptops with coffee, waits for me to enter it and pushes over it slowly. Mutiny at its best. Ah, yes, the slow, I'm offended at you, cat push. And then it goes, hi, look what I did. Actually, I went into the kitchen this morning and there was a bottle of canola oil lying on its side on the floor, and I could just imagine a cat did that during the night. And it had seeped out, so I've mopped it up. I'll leave a slippery patch there for the next 3 weeks. We are climbing again now. On our way up to Dolgoch. Now, it's one thing I noticed when I met Matt Peddleston. I think the reason that he kills laptops with coffee is because this is him when he's talking. He kind of talks like a wog. I need to take water at Dolgoch. They take water at Pendray. They try and avoid taking water at Talyllyn because they have to pay for it at Talyllyn. Because Pendray is a natural feed and so is Dolgoch, so they try and take them there because it's free. And at some point along the side of the line around here, I'm not sure if the sign's actually here in the game actually, but there's a sign with a little Christmas tree on it. And that's a particularly difficult point for a fireman, so you need to get your locomotive super hot as you're going up here. Because when you pass that little sign with a pine tree on it, you have to close your dampers and not fire except in stations. Which means it's doom for your firebox. But they're so careful to not set fire to the surrounding countryside that they have the section called forestry. Violet said he's a lovable little shit. Yes. I also said they did well on the scenery except for the cows. I've not met any cats that are worried by cucumbers. I've got one that's scared of bananas, but nothing for cucumbers. Almost at Dolgoch Station. I can't actually remember if they've modelled the viaduct in this route, but we'll see in a moment if they have. They've certainly modelled the viaduct speed limit. Bit of painter's masking tape, the one that's not so sticky. Popping that on the end of a cat's tail is always a bit entertaining. Not that that would happen. So sitting down on the main road, you can just see down on the left there, there's sort of a restaurant-y, resort-y thing. And there's a lady with a tea room about halfway up as well, which is just someone's house. You literally walk into her living room and she serves you tea and scones. Or as they call it, a cream tea. Just an enterprising person who's realised that the path to the railway goes past her house. So she takes the opportunity to sell. Slowing down for Dolgoch. They have got the viaduct. Fantastic. Let's race forward. Get a gratuitous bridge shot of the giant viaduct. In fact, it's a better shot of the viaduct than I could get myself. And the waterfalls are just up there, so we'll take a run up there and have a look and see if the waterfalls are there. Just realised how slow we're starting to go. Train's clearly on the bridge by the excess sound. Alrighty. I'm just going to try and stop it in the right place now. Pick up our water. They have another place where you can fill it up from a creek as well. Using this wooden aqueduct. Here's Dolgoch Station. Station Master of Dolgoch Station is a very friendly individual. Do encourage you to have a chat with him. And this has got the modern fill point model. There's actually 2 fill points here. They both work. We actually use this one. I would have thought you'd want me to stop before that game, but you know, you're the boss. Or did I pass it? I'm going to stop there and just see if I can do it. Can we? No. Well, it's got the doors open. So I'll wait, and then I'll try... I'm not sure, did I pass it and get back to 0, 0? Let me look at the replay. Not sure. Not sure if I went past 0, 0 or not. But when the doors close... There you go, it's doing it now. It's happy. That's fine. Water refilling completed, ready to go. Well, okay. That's fine then. But just looking at Dolgoch, I want to go and look and see if they got the waterfall. Did they do the waterfall? Just up here, if you're at this station, if you wander up a little path over here, and you come up along this section, just through here a little bit, there is a, you can't quite see it because they put some trees and stuff here, but there's actually a viewing point for the viaduct. So if you want to get your Alfan photos, you can. I don't know, I think they've hidden it in trees, so I don't think they've modelled the waterfall, but basically in here there's this massive waterfall that just goes up and up and up and up and up. So they haven't quite modelled the landscape there either, but it's away from the line, so we'll forgive them. All right, let us go. Oh no, now it wants me to do passengers. Okay. Fair enough. That's all right. We thought we'd already done passengers, but we'll do them again. Caleb asks, do I know how to stop the out-of-memory error? Run the latest version is the answer. So, yes. Run the latest version of the game. That is makes it better. Also be careful what third-party stuff you've got. So if you're bringing in mods or bringing in other things, it tends to be a little unforgiving of some of those. I should catch up with the chat, I suppose, because I haven't been. Violet has a collection of epic cat fails to post. Excellent. I look forward to them. And Violet says, I talk like that. It's my Italian blood. If it's no hands, it's silent. Yes, I am married into a Greek family. I know how it works. Violet says, been dormant for a while. Yeah, I hope you are coming back again soon, Violet, because I'm very happy to see you active at least. A dog that used to steal bananas from the shopping bag and then dump them. Stopped about 2 years old. Never ate one. I had a dog that used to steal carrots and it loved eating bananas, but you had to peel them for her. She wouldn't touch them unless you'd peeled them. How are we going? 13 likes, 13 views. Very handy. Yes. There's a couple of extra people around now too. Welcome along to the stream. Feel free to chat if you would like to. You don't have to, but feel free. Yes, active chat rate is good. Violet says, I am similar in chat or live. I come alive. In person, I am weird and awkward. I don't think you're weird. Or awkward. Actually, I'll take that back. You are weird. You're delightfully weird. Violet spends her days talking to the cat. That's kind of normal. And he says, I was so close to not meeting Paul because I'm awkward and pushed myself to do it. And I'm glad you did. We had a good day out, see? Out on the Talyllyn Railway. We got to ride the thing in a diesel rail car. Bit of fun. Wandered around. Grabbed some munchies. Violet says the cat never asks stupid questions and always keeps it eventful. Cats do definitely keep it eventful. Yeah, it probably was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because travelling from Australia is painful, as anybody that lives here or anybody that's visited here from somewhere else will tell you. We've got a very long stop here in Dolgoch, don't we? Are we early? Oh, we are early. You have to sit here for all this time. Oh well, that's okay. Let's go in the station. That bit's where the station master lives, and there's a tiny shop that sells cookies and soft drinks. And that's about it. I love that the litter bin is high res, but the posters aren't. The posters are actually quite entertaining in these stations. They are from the correct time period. Oh, someone's coughing. It's COVID bloke with COVID girlfriend. That's the Dolgoch toilets. And the path to the waterfall is down behind the station. It's actually down here somewhere. There is also, if you come to this station, you won't see it here, I think, but there's a path that runs along the line, along the side of the farm, right along here, and there's a couple of viewing points. So there's one about there, oops, where you can get photos of the train coming out of the station, and there's another one up here where you can get pictures of the train coming around the corner, so you can get that classic view of the train coming straight at you as though it's going to run you over, but you're not actually in its way. You just zoom in a little bit. So you zoom so you can only see that part, and then it looks like it's coming straight for you. It's kind of cool. Well, I've almost finished our passenger stop here at Dolgoch. I did say that we should not do the speed limit on this, but I then did. Oh well. Oops. Violet says, I know those days, see, and you're always glad you did it. Yes, definitely afterwards. Caleb says, I did, and it crashed instantly with stuff from the Steam store. I would clear your cache. So Google Clear Train Simulator Cache and do that. See how you go. Once it starts happening, it can be very hard to stop it. In an absolute worst case scenario, you might actually have to reinstall Windows. Because Train Simulator does spread itself all over the bloody place, and when it goes bad, sometimes it can go very bad. The support people are very helpful. Dovetail Support, they will help talk you through the processes of getting it working. Let me just get you a link for them. There's a lot of different instructions that you can try here on the support site. And if none of those work for you, log a ticket, and a person named Chris probably will help you. Chris does Train Simulator, assuming he's still there. And he'll help you out a lot. I'd also verify your files using Steam, just in case something got corrupted during an update, which does happen occasionally. Violet says you were fluent in wrist then, and then realizes that came out wrong. You know what I mean, talking hands and all. I know what you mean. I'm not going to visualize it for anybody. If they don't get it, they don't get it. Violet says she's fully weird and proud of it. and has your freak flag flying. It's very hard to say, you know that. Freak flag flying. And he said, you're also very good at masking it when needed, but you are a freak. It's almost time. In fact, I think it's beyond time, but that's okay. We're now late, but the game is still insisting on holding us here with a little red line. Violet says, I have been thinking about streaming Pilates like you suggested. Lots of people at the gym do, and they have a posing room. How funny, right? I think it's a good idea. I do know a lady who I met through the YouTube speed dating thing, where they channel people together to see who might want to support who and do collaborative things. I met a lady who teaches belly dancing, and she does live streams. It's bizarre that a train channel might support a belly dancing channel and vice versa, but, you know, we do. So that's life. It is a nice looking little train. It's a great little area to wander around as well. This little red line's almost come to a close. We're now 2 minutes late. Come on, train. Or game, I should say. It's not the train's fault. Let's let all the steam out of our cylinders. Clearly it still has some, even though it's on 0%. Yeah, Caleb, look, I'd definitely get onto support if you've tried reinstalling Windows and it's still doing it. It may be that you have some bad video or CPU drivers as well that it doesn't like. So they might work fine with other things, but Train Simulator is just a little bit fussy sometimes. The latest version tends to be better. It has had a fairly significant rebuild in the last 12 months. C says, I hear that British Ace aka Joe is previewing the 380 on Tuesday. Okay. Off we go to Quarry Siding Blockhouse. Oh, we have to get another token. You don't get a token at Dolgoch. There's no signal here. Off we go. We climb up the little hill. I haven't actually looked at my emails to see if we've been sent anything. Is the 380 a dovetail one? Just having a look. I don't see anything from Dovetail. You should be able to make it work, Caleb. Train Sim Classic is not that demanding from a resource perspective. My machine has color coding lights for how hard it's working, and they tend to, well, in this game they tend to hover around the, when I'm not streaming, around the different colors of green, which means it's not working hard at all. When I'm streaming as well, I'm just watching it now, it's getting into the oranges and blues, but not much beyond that. Climbing up the hill to Quarry Blockhouse. We may cross a train here. They do cross people here, but I'm not sure if we will. Glad it's been fun, Violet. Yeah, I think live streaming Pilates would be popular. Particularly if you live stream Pilates with funny jokes and singing and the other things that you do, be quite a combination. got another one of those little red signs. So you have to wait unless you're called forward, and you would see a little flag from the block post to let you know it was okay to come up. Doesn't look like we're crossing another train here, but we'll have to stop anyway and change tokens. It's one of the few road crossings on the Talyllyn. There's two. One at Pendray and that one. More brakes. Here we go. Life is a weird soup indeed. C says he's too fat to do belly dancing. Well, actually, you know, it's kind of a requirement for the gig. We have a token for Aber, or Abergynolwyn is the full station name. What was really funny is the fireman takes the token, inspects the token, and has to announce to the driver what token they've got. And I was okay with the other tokens because, you know, their names are fairly similar. But when it came to Abergynolwyn, I looked at the driver and I went, it's a red one. Because they're different colours. And then he made me say Abergynolwyn. Because you have to. Off we go. We are in forest, so if you were firing this train, you would have your dampers closed, and you would not be firing outside the station. So to get up to Abergynolwyn, you have to make a fire and live with it. So you better hope you did a good one. Because for this 1.12 miles, you're not allowed to put anything in there. So you have to have enough water to leave that station, as well as having enough heat in the locomotive to go a mile without firing, without opening the door. It's quite challenging. Especially since it is quite steep. Violet says, computer says no. PCs do have their moments, they do indeed. C says, I don't know, I think it is, but don't quote me. Yeah, I haven't really seen anything. There's not a place I can look. Excuse me while I digress for something you can't see. I can't see anything about a 380 anywhere, so maybe it's from AP or someone like that. That's always possible. Let's give it some more juice as we climb up here. C, was it C that asked, yeah, how is this represented in game to real life? The track is very accurate. Some of the scenery is a bit different. So this area is all forested, for example, through here. As you come up to Abergynolwyn. Violet says, I got in trouble for singing along to their music. That I can do, I can use the Reformer studio outside class hours and sing my ass off. It'd look funny with no ass. You'd probably fill up too. There's no way out. You'd just eventually explode, Violet. This little stream coming down there. There's a few of those. Little waterfall. But the valley's about right. The track position in the valley's pretty good. Clouds are kind of empty. You're an ex-systems accountant, Violet. I like the shadows. Lots of trains in this game don't have shadows, so it's cool that this one does. You tick the right box, clearly. Go back on the sunny side where it's prettier. So Steve Form's Rail Fan Schedule shows Matt and Jamie doing a special preview of the 380 on Tuesday. Well, there you go. Train Sim World or Train Sim Classic? And as you may have noticed with the 218, Dovetail don't always show it off first. Sometimes they let us do it. Particularly with third-party stuff, they let us do it. With their own stuff, they'll always show it first. We've actually had embargo dates moved because someone from Dovetail was sick. So they couldn't show it, and they asked us not to. Which is okay if you see the email. Not so good if you don't. So is the 380 coming in TSW? Okay. Let me check my... just in case it went into spam or something. No. I've got nothing from Black Soup either. They might have given him a special one. Because he would be quite knowledgeable about the 380, so they might have given him a special one to run it early. That does happen. Coming into Aber. Aber is dead end, you don't want to come in too quick. Nice little cafe here. They sell lots of food. They run a children's day here fairly regularly. Now, is it going to simulate the runaround? That'll be interesting. Should probably open the doors, shouldn't I? Now, I don't know if this is the end. Let's have a look. Or if the... Yeah, this is just the end of it. They don't simulate the run around. That's a bit sad. What happens here is you disconnect your locomotive, run up into the head shunt. Oh, they've modelled the whole thing. Yeah, so this part of it actually goes off to a quarry. Curious. Oh, that's right. We have to go up to Nant. Sorry, Aber's not the last station. Nant is. Nant Gwynol. I got myself mixed up there because most of the trains actually run to Nant rather than Aber. Where's my mouse cursor gone? It's missing. It's missing in action. Ah, where is it? How can I do anything without a mouse cursor? When I've got an Overtrain Sim Classic, the mouse cursor's gone. This could be difficult. Okay. That's alright. Let's use tab instead. Can we use tab? No, because it's out of focus. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? It's very hard to drive without a cursor. I might have to stop train sim, you know? Something's killed it. Let's just hit enter and see what that does. Scope? No? Let's try and force it back into focus. I might have to kill Train Simulator. This is annoying. Where's it gone? Is it gone? Oh dear. Can't even get to OBS. Can't get to anything. Something bad's happened. Are you guys enjoying watching a menu and watching me struggle? Come on. Come on. Oops. I just saw it briefly appear. Let's see if I can make this work. Hello, British Ace. Are you running a 380 on Tuesday, I hear? I cannot get the cursor back into this game for nuts. I think I might have to kill Train Simulator. Just to get my cursor back. And then I'll start it again. So excuse me while things go blank for a moment. There we go. Black. Fade to black. Excellent. Alright. Back to Steam and start it up again. Well, we got to the end of the run. That's good. C thinks Violet broke it. It's catching up on chat while this is happening. You were Violet was cat distracted. And you got yourself another coffee. Good. Violet's cat thinks he's married to her, but she's actually married to the coffee machine. I understand that. Oh well, coming back into the game now. Yeah, people thought you were going to be streaming the 380 on Tuesday. Michael thought so. Oh, no, it wasn't Michael. Michael says that Dovetail's got a preview of it, but who thought you were? Just scrolling back in the chat while this starts up. I can't find it now. Where was it? Where was it? Wish you could search the chat, but you can't. It's kind of annoying. But someone thought you were. And I was just having a look. I don't seem to have a key for anything. That's life. Alright. Drive. Back to Talyllyn. Oh, it was C. Okay, cool. We seem to be back in business. Oh, we want standard scenarios. It doesn't have career scenarios. We want Talyllyn. Not Welsh Highlands. No, Talyllyn. There we go. So we've done one with Talyllyn with the vintage train. We could run Dolgoch, but I think that's up the hill as well. Abergynolwyn and Nant. How could that be 50 minutes long? How is that even possible? So you're going to run the up train. Oh, because you're going to run around and then go back. Okay. Let's do that. But I think they all go to Nant these days. Nant was a station they added at some point. And this siding up here actually goes off to the original quarry. Load the passengers and await for the guard to give the all clear. The 1600 down train should leave first. Very good. Load him up. Naturally, Duncan is a Thomas engine, because if you didn't know, Thomas is actually from this railway. Talyllyn is Sodor. So they're going to let this train out first, so we may as well come down here and rail fan it, because that's what you do. Oh, that's Dolgoch, except Dolgoch's the wrong colour. This is the one I fired. It's bright green currently. Quite a pretty little engine. And you can see how much room there is in there for 3 people with their giant safety boots. So we'll wait for Dolgoch to bugger off with its train. Ooh, it's got a red light facing forwards. That's naughty. There they go. Oh, and you can buy tickets from the booking officers on the train if you want to. A lot of people in their business suits here. We've got some twin action happening. There really is 2 of them. Look at that. Twinsies. That's okay. We'll go back up to our train. So in the little cafe in here, they have heaps and heaps of nice foods. Locally produced stuff and stuff they do themselves. And signal box up there. Massive signal box, given they don't have a lot of track. It's catching up with the chat again. Violet says she's good at breaking things. Joe is not running A380 on Tuesday. All clear. Yay! Wait for the whistle, though. Wait for the whistle. Are we getting a whistle? We're not getting a whistle. No, no. Alright, full forward gear. Brakes off. And let's check the... Yes, the handbrake's on again. Something weird it does when rail driver's on. Ah, and you can do it. Off you go. Climbing up out of Abergynolwyn. This is a place where you could sleep easy enough, trying to start on points. The stonework is cool. The station buildings on this railway mostly are original. There are some that are recreations, and I have to say the people who do the recreations are amazingly good at what they do. Ah, no, there's another Joe. There's a Joe in Dovetail. Getting a bit steeper through here. I need to give it some more oomph. There we go. Picking up speed again. Now we've got to slow down for the road crossing. Yeah, I know I'm speeding. We'll survive. Trust me. It's all right. Don't panic. I have to admit, this is the only railway I've been on that almost stops for a road crossing. Ooh, that's an interesting bit of track. Nice little kink there. I want to see what the train does when it hits that. That. And if you're an Aussie and the only time you ever hear Duncan, it's in a song called I'm Gonna Have a Beer with Duncan, but I'm pretty sure it's actually a New Zealand song and we stole it. Welcome to the inside of Duncan. Very low resolution, but there you go. Get a bit more oomph going. We can't go too hard because it's only 5 miles an hour through here. I don't think it was only 5 up to Nant when I was on the line. I think it was 10. It's good to have British Ace along. British Ace twisted my arm to ride buses in the UK. And oddly enough, in Manchester, I think I used buses more than anything else. The buses went everywhere. The trams and trains didn't. C likes iced coffee. All good. I think it's funny that Joe's name's got mentioned. He's appeared on the stream. It's kind of funny. C says, I prefer my biscuits dunked in coffee. Violet says we call that a Tim Tam Slam. I thought a Tim Tam Slam was with Bailey's. Tim Tams, if you've never encountered them, are a chocolate wafer biscuit, and you bite off both ends of them and you can suck liquid through them if you try hard enough. And if you do it with hot liquids, they melt. They don't make a very good straw. There's the winding drum for the big winch. They're actually restoring this spot here. There was, going from the winding drum heading down there into the town, that was the only way that town could get provisions because they didn't have a road. So they used the incline railway and everything went up and down there. Even their wastes. So all of their septic waste was tankered out and brought down the Talyllyn Railway. Once we get up to Nant, we're going to try a run around, and we know how good Train Simulator Classic is with this sort of thing. Oh, no soggy biscuits, see? None of us are in the Navy. There's no need to get into seamen. Cut that off, open the cocks. Welcome to Abergynolwyn, where we will attempt to do a run around. These little locos, unlike most of British trains, do actually have air compressors. They run Westinghouse brakes. C says, I still say OMSI is best bus sim graphics, but ain't all bus sounds is way better. Yes, we always end up there, don't we, Violet? Sooner or later. British Ace needs me on OMSI. I have played a little bit. I do have a steering wheel under my desk. Play ATS a little bit too, but, you know, uncouple the loco and run around for the return journey. Okay. So will the carriages roll away if I don't put the handbrake on? Probably, so let's do that. Duncan's clear of the points. You can stop now, Duncan. Can we use the point lever? I don't know. I think we have to use the map. Doink. And that one's going straight through, and we want that one. Okay. It's not the best whistle on Duncan. Back we go, little smiley face engine. Gone all the way up a cliff. Fair enough. OMSI is a bus simulator, Violet. Got that ridiculous song in my head now. The I Want to Have a Beer with Duncan song. Can we use this point lever? No. Back to the map again then. And I didn't go past the little invisible signal, which is a good thing. People often put invisible signals in to help make their scenarios work. Go on, Duncan. You can do it. There we go. Duncan's low resolution eyebrow. It's got one eyebrow. It's a big one. Weirdly enough, this week I am firing again tomorrow on a Monday, which would normally be a work day. But they went, please, please, can you fire? We can't get anybody else, please. At which point I said to our lovely lady roster person, I said, so, you rang me last, did you? Got silence. Because you know that she hasn't rung you last. She's rung you because you usually say yes. Bonk. Right, now let's take that brake off. Okay, pick up the passengers and wait for the guard signal, the guard. The guards do not go at the back end of the train in Talyllyn. They only have one van, and they stay in their little van. That man has very hairy arms. You don't see many firemen with arms that hairy, you really don't. Tends to be a bit of a natural occupational hazard. The arm hairs go away. Although weirdly I've got still some on my hands left over from the trip. You know, you should get in, because there's not another one. You can keep looking at your watch all you want, but you should get in the train. Because, you know, if you don't get in the train, you're going to be sitting here on this bench awkwardly together, each of you looking at your watches going, oh, why am I here with this person? I thought this would be fun, but it's not. We're just sitting in this Welsh forest and it's cold and it's wet on this summer's day. How am I ever going to pass the time? I promised him I'd be here for an hour. Yeah, that's it. Don't look at each other. You never know what might happen. That could get scary. Did the time change much in that 20 seconds? Probably not. Such an awkward first date. Now, it's time to go back to Duncan, I think, who's mysteriously at the other end of the train. The face is weird, yes. Okay. Whip the cock open, and off we go. I think, Joe, they're just waiting for the train to go so they can get back to matters at hand by themselves, if you know what I mean. A mate of mine's a plainclothes detective in the local police here. And he often describes the felony yawn, where you see people go. He goes, as soon as he sees someone do that, he watches them even more closely. C goes, I was going to say something, but then it's not really appropriate. Ah. It's okay, young fella. We slide back down the hill with Duncan. Heading back down to Abergynolwyn. And we're supposed to get in there before the next train arrives. I guess that makes sense, because otherwise you can't run around. Maybe I'll do another OMSI day, you never know. There's other bus simulators. What have I got on Steam? I'm sure I've got some other bus simulators in my library in Steam. What have I got? Euro Truck, that's not a bus. Bus World. I've got Bus World. I've got Bus Simulator 21. OMSI. I should look into sale actually and see what see what other bus stuff there is. Excuse me. That's not good. Oh no, Duncan, you're going too fast. Naughty Duncan. Whatever would Thomas say? Thomas is mischievous, said Duncan. Thomas would go for it. Just wait for gravity to catch up with us. Yeah, Bus Stop 21 was a bit crap, but I think it was about $2, so I bought it. No one coming, let's go! Inquiring minds need to know, does the crossing stop after the train goes through? I've never tried, but C might know. Listen to that British summer weather. Just a light touch of rain. Actually, to say for most of my trip, the weather was actually quite nice. It looks like the crossing does not stop. I always find that slightly disappointing when they just run forever. Now, back to the train. With our little mate Duncan. That looks like the wheels are running inside the track rather than on it, doesn't it? Weird. Oh, it's not the track, it's a fencing wire. Okay. So I was sort of seeing a wire in the fence going, that looks like a track, but no, it's not. It's just very thick. I actually think there is an Isle of Sodor in Train Sim Classic, but it's very unofficial, and every time it gets onto the internet, it gets taken down. But keep an eye out for it, because I'm sure it'll reappear somewhere else. You can certainly get every manner of Thomas engine. But I don't think the current owners of Thomas could really do much to Talyllyn, because Talyllyn's where it all came from. The Reverend did actually live around here somewhere. Maybe even Tarwin. I think it wants me to go into the bottom platform. Probably to run around and then go back into the top platform. This station building's not quite right. They've used an asset from somewhere else. This one's too big, because there's actually chairs and tables in front of the station. So it's a little bit NQR. I assume it wants me to stop down there by the fouling point marker, which are the white sleepers. Brakes off. Rail driver didn't want to completely release the brakes then. One of our big box stores has the Xbox X on special this weekend. Vaguely surprised I haven't gone to buy one yet. Doors open. Oh, the twinsies got out. Hello, twinsies. And they had a friend sealed up there in the carriage with them. There's another Japanese train game that's out at the moment, which is kind of funny. It's you see trains, but you don't get to touch them. It's about being trapped in a station. It's actually quite cool. I don't think I'll stream it because it's one of those ones that's a lot of talking. All the passengers are offloaded. Very good. And that's it for that one. And this time round, our cursor still works. Excellent. We don't want to go to Festiniog today. We want to stick with Talyllyn. What time is it? 10:05. We're doing okay. We could do a little bit of diesel. We could do a little non-stop diesels. It's the diesels all the way, I think. That looks like it's the whole route, doesn't it? It's hard to tell because look at the description. They got it wrong. Abergynolwyn to Abergynolwyn nighttime. Ooh, that could get exciting, but I don't think it's very good to stream somehow. Because, you know, dark with no lights, it's just going to be dark. Bringlass to Aber. Why would that be so long? 120 minutes. That's weird. Midday train to Aber. I don't know why that would be such a long scenario. But anyway. Evening special diesel. Stormy 8:30 in summer. Well, it'd still be light time then, wouldn't it? That'd be light. Let's give that a crack. Where's it going? From Nant to Merseysider. So is it going all the way up the hill? Because it's not going to be 0 minutes if it's going all the way up the hill. Alright, let's give it a crack. Let's see what it's like. Oh yeah, there's a sail on. Oh, it is kind of dark. I wouldn't have thought it would be this dark in summer, but there you go. My experience of the countryside here is it stays light a very long time. I suppose you should let people in, shouldn't we? And then go into forwards, leave the brakes on, let's see who's got a handbrake on. Nobody this time, very good. Sitting down here at Twin Wharf again. Looks like we are going all the way to Aber with this tiny diesel and 4 carriages. This could be a little bit interesting. People do love looking at their watches here, don't they? I forgot about Train Sim Classic, where the girls actually have bum cheeks. Well, that lasts a long time. Ah, building. Geez, Merseyside is pretty powerful. I don't think it's going to struggle to get up the hill at all. Which loco are we leaving behind? We are leaving behind Tom Rolt. That was the original, I think, when they reopened. Yeah, we're outside the map. What about headlights? Aha! They work. It's got variable amounts of reversal like a steam engine. How weird. It probably is a steam engine in disguise in the physics. So we're going straight to Nant, non-stop. Wow, how does it do that from a safe working perspective? And I'm guessing by the fact that we're very fast running up onto a dead end, that there must be a set of points set wrong somewhere. I better keep you going though. That does look like we're running into a siding, doesn't it? We want to go straight. We want to go... yeah, that way. Now we shouldn't be running into a siding. That looks better. Otherwise we were going to drive straight into a shed and that would have been embarrassing. Funny, but embarrassing. There are quite a few people who make Thomas videos with Train Sim Classic. Laserjet's one. Taranga does as well. Coming in through Pendre. look at that. The doors are shut. That's cool. Did they put carriages in there, though? Can't see through the windows to see if there's carriages in there. I'm sad. Hello, signalman. How are you? Got 2 of them today. There's no one back in the engine shed, so all the steam engines must still be out. Hope the gate's open, or this is going to be a short trip. Yay! That engine shed's not a dirt floor in there, just saying. There's no weeds growing in the engine shed. I should, my own lighting a little, shouldn't I? Otherwise I'm just a little bit bright. That's a weird thing to have happen to the sky. Look at that. There's an alien vortex sucking up the clouds. Or is it a mass forgot the word. Mass deployment of chemtrails. One or the other. That's no moon. It's a space station. Spider clouds. Only in Australia. Actually, in the first hotel I stayed at, which was right at the airport, I stayed in a Premier Inn at the airport because my original flight had me arriving in England at about 9:30 at night, so I booked a hotel at the airport because I knew I wouldn't want to go anywhere, having been travelling for about 38 hours. And as it happened, my changed flights, thank you Emirates for fixing the problem, thank you for giving me a new one, arrived at 9:30 in the morning, but that's okay. But that first hotel, I did notice when I got up in the morning and I was having a shower that there was a huntsman on the ceiling in the shower room. And I was thinking, did that come out of my bag, or do they have huntsmen in England? Because if they don't, they do now. It may well have come out of my bag. This is certainly possible. And I don't know if a huntsman can breed without having another huntsman, but I know some spiders can. So if England gets overrun by huntsmen, you can see how tight the clearances are on that bridge. You saw that in Transit World, you'd be going, oh, that's not right. That should be fixed. But no, in this game it's perfectly right and true. This caravan park here was actually very popular when I was there. There were a lot of people in it. And every train stopped at the halt. Oh, you haven't been around for a while, Violet. You haven't met the cats. I crashed my train cat There's Rave Party Cat. Unce, 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 unce. And there's Happy Cat. I've got some other cats too, but they don't have scenes or buttons at this time. Have I loaded them up with scenes? No, I haven't. But there are some other cats as well. Maybe that one. No, not that one. Either that or it hasn't got a macro to run it. Oh no, we're going too fast! Ah! Why? Because I took the cursor off here, so Raildriver stopped talking to the game. Because, you know, Raildriver's dumb. Everyone needs spider clouds in their life. It's like having Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Goes everywhere a huntsman can. No worries, Violet. Have a good day if we don't talk to you again. Be safe, be happy. Very cinematic, isn't it? Oh, the drama. I'll have to try and get Violet into the cab at Puffing Billy and get her a cab pass. And then I can put the shovel in her hands, make her all dirty. Sounds like a plan. Oh, you don't want to roll up your sleeves in the steam engine, Violet. You'll end up with burnt arms. As long as you're not too tall, you'd be fine. Tall people do tend to struggle with Puff. I'm about as tall as you want to be in those locos. I'm fine with the roof. There's plenty of clearance between me and the roof. But, you know, going in and out through the doors, the doorway ends here. Of course Violet enjoys being dirty. Everyone does. As kids, we go out in the garden and get covered in stuff and eat dirt. That's how we stay healthy. That builds our immunity. Some of us keep doing it for the rest of eternity. Some people grow out of it. I would suggest no one should. Violet used to have to get hosed off as a child at the family farm. Good and dirty is fun. Absolutely. Getting so dirty you have to get hosed off before you come back inside should happen to everybody a few times in their life. Whenever I went camping near farms with cowpats, Violet, I would go and find them because they're very good for your fire, the dried ones. They don't smell so hot, but they burn really well. Very nice hot fire to camp by. To stay out of the smoke, because you know, burning shit's still shit. It's kind of of funny, this one's got a... It's almost a modern cabin. The controls don't move, though, I've noticed. Hands in dirt makes Violet happy. Perfect. Just wake up all the people in the caravan park, as you do. C says, weird, since COVID I've gone weird with washing my hands or using hand sanitizer if out. It's an OCD thing, see? It has certainly affected some people. My youngest is like that. He's constantly washing his hands. Me, on the other hand, I don't know if you're about to see them, but look, they're still dirty from yesterday, even after washing. But there's still plenty of dirt in the creases. Let me just look up the art store in Manchester that I went to, because it was really good. Fred Aldous, that's it. So if your dad's going to Manchester, Violet, send him up to Fred Aldous in Manchester. It's 3 stories of arts and crafts. Violet said, my brother had a knack of falling in them, talking about the cowpats, and yes, they burn well. They burn fantastically well. They're actually quite good at getting rid of mosquitoes, too. If you chuck one in your fire, the mosquitoes don't like it, and they tend to bugger off. Violet says, better than all the spiders running at you when you add a random log. Yes. There we go. Ah, hot! Also says cleaning up after art is fun too, like turning the water muddy with a cleaning. That's a weird thing that got me. And Violet's a little scruffy at most times. That's fine. It's like on the railway I have my light up clothes, which are the clothes that get totally filthy. And I have the ones that wear on the road, which get a little bit less filthy, but because I didn't have access to decent washing products in the UK without buying an entire box, I didn't have the special stuff I need to clean them, so they were still dirty when they came back here. Because you need special stuff to clean steam engine muck out of your clothes, you really do. This is a special train, it's got no people. It's very special. I'll give you a link to Fred. It's probably best experience one of those places that you'd want to experience, Violet. But you can probably see by my photos that I was impressed. We must be doing moving token exchanges everywhere along this scenario. We're not stopping for any of them. Dung bomb versus bug bomb, indeed. Dee bought a garden fire pit the other day. Excellent. Yeah, we've got one in our backyard. We've also got a fireplace under the veranda thingy, which doesn't really warm anybody up unless you really crank it and put coal in it, which I did once, and it melted the inner firebox a bit. the neighbours got to experience steam trains. Well, if you run out of paper, just start burning plastic. Little train making its way up the hill. It's much quicker when you don't stop anywhere, isn't it? Well, it says get one of those camping things for cooking snags. It's called a stick. Or bangers, as you may call them. Sea loves a good banger. Not surprising, don't we all? And some marshmallows. I have a bag of Japanese marshmallows. One of the only things I don't like about Japanese food is they're all individually wrapped. Mind you, that can be good when you empty the entire bag onto the floor like I did the other day. It means that your snacks can continue to be consumed. We might debate damper, you reckon? Well, as long as it's got enough salt in it, it's good. There's two schools of thought for making damper. Flour, water, lots of salt. Or just flour and water. Flour and water? Nah, pointless. Flour and water with lots of salt? Perfect. And C's already got wood. Well, that's probably all the talk about streaming Pilates. And you bought a garden sofa. Excellent. You're going to add your wood to the biscuit, of course. Salt and crap loads of butter. Now you're talking. And a bit of jam. Nice blackberry jam. Yes, I agree. If it's just flour and water, it is in fact just glue. Very much so. There are other Japanese sweets that are really cool. These things are wrapped individually as well. This is jelly-flavoured... grape-flavoured jelly. And it has... I don't know, I'm holding it up to the microphone. Grape flavoured jelly. It has instructions on the back for how to open and eat it, which is kind of funny. But that's okay. There's a Japanese shop in our shopping centre. I often waste money in there. Because I just like their shit. It's just good. Our little train, we're going to get there before it gets fully dark. Let's get that giant white cursor out of the landscape. Throw towards mouth. Yeah, pretty much. Although you do actually have to open the little pack and squeeze to get the jelly out. And you're really going this time. Ah, we'll just have to keep attracting you back. Saying things like Vegemite. No, I'm going too fast. Whatever will happen. Probably come off the track, that's what will happen. Dragged back in with Vegemite. I had Marmite when I was in the UK. It's like a pissant version of Vegemite, except that it's kind of slimy. It's sort of got the texture of honey, but it tastes like 2% Vegemite. It's kind of like that American thing, 2% milk. What's the point? It's just white water. Hopefully it'll stay gremlin free. Should be alright. I just realised one of the cats has been here. There's sneeze marks on my monitor. I'll have to clean that later. It's a very gentle thing cleaning this monitor. It's very easy to break the LCD. I have seen the results on YouTube. You'd be very gentle with it. It's a 45-inch curved monitor. So it, if you twist it, it shatters the LCD panel inside. In fact, no, that's something floating in the air in the game. Thinking that might have been a bug, but no, it's not. It was funny last night watching TV, and I was thinking, have I got dead pixels on the TV? But no, it turned out to be a bug. It's just sitting there, blocking the light. Oh no, we're going too fast. Ah, straight across the bridge. Sorry, little train, I wasn't paying attention. But we'll knock it off. Flying through Dolgoch at ridiculous speed. Somehow managing to stay on the tight little track. You tried a coffee with oat milk, see? Hello? I always wonder how they milk the oats. How do you get your fingers in there? Try and convince someone to build the Llangollen Railway in this game, because it's actually quite a nice little railway. Certainly very scenic. You milk the oats with lots of vegetation. Yours or the oats? So add that to the list of things that get Violet unnecessarily excited. Oats, Vegemite, spiders. Oh, and random poetry and art supplies. What about random poetry in an art supply shop? That could certainly happen. Always just take us with you, Violet, on your phone. It'll be fine. Does it have passenger view? It does. We can watch the world go by as a passenger with its highly reflective windows. Bye. So if we can somehow combine Vegemite, oats, art, bookshops, we've got Violet in a nutshell. So I think all we really need to do is fill up a bathtub with Vegemite and chuck her in, and then give her a book. And sprinkle oats on top. Okay, one happy violet. Not quite sure how I ended up in the cab then, but I'll run with it. Well, we're out again. Ah, random instruments indeed. Violet did Vegemite as a face cream vid. I think I'd seen that happen with someone else too. They were claiming it had all these magical properties. They'd have to be black candles, see? I think when we get up to Nantes, that'll be the last one for today. I haven't decided what to run next week yet, but we'll see. You're explaining the butter to Vegemite ratio and got carried away. Fair enough. The best thing you can do for Americans is give them Vegemite, because they go. So when we get this unit up to Nantes, I think it will be the end of the stream for this week. Stepping away from the Twilight Zone. Can you do that? Dee 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 dee. Yeah, we'll be there in about 2 minutes. Maybe 3. You're going to school Pug in the ways of the Vegemite soon enough. I bet he likes it. Yeah, he might do. I have noticed the more practical side of life an American lives in, the more likely they are to like Vegemite. But if they're your standard sugar-loving American, they tend not to. Gremlins and adding water, yes. I just thought of someone else I met at Dovetail. I met Danny. He was doing the lighting on an upcoming route, making sure the night lighting was cool. And I met Kat, who was extremely busy. Cat's not the cat that turns up here, just saying. Ooh, the lights work at night. That's cool. Back at Abergynolwyn again. Heading straight through to Nantes. Oh, look. It's a yellow square. You don't normally see those around after route building. These are placeholders you put in to mark things that you wanted to come back and do something with later. C says doing his head in not knowing the next UK route. Who said it was a UK route? Just because Danny's working on it doesn't mean it's a UK route. Could be anything. C doesn't eat much chocolates. Oh, he doesn't eat chocolate. admit I don't eat as much chocolate as I used to, but that's only because my belly just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger if I keep eating chocolate. The thing I tend to eat more of is these things. Snakes. My wife owed me $90, so I bought $90 worth of snakes. I'll race up ahead and watch it run through the crossing. Why not? Where is the crossing? Here it is. There's a milk bottle. Do you know what it means in Train Sim Classic when you see a milk bottle? It's a missing asset. It's an asset that wasn't packaged. White chocolate is pointless, says Violet. Well, it's not actually chocolate. White chocolate's basically a block of fat. There's no actual chocolate in it, it's just cocoa. My mother-in-law likes Turkish delights. Reminds me it's her birthday shortly. Oops, down through the bottom of the world there. Speeding again. Oh. Snakes on a train coming soon. It's possible. C says there's a UK route coming soon. Even he's looking at his watch. Look at that. It's the town down below. It works at night time. It's kind of cool. There's a train down there somewhere. There it is. No, you can't fake dark chocolate. Nice 80% dark. It's always good. You can get up into the 90% dark if you want something a little more bitter. Best consumed with coffee at 90% dark. I was looking at the town that's next to Nant on Google Maps because the bit I could see from the train looked quite big. And I actually think it's bigger than Talyllyn, but it's literally in the middle of nowhere. There's so many people there. Vegan chocolate. Wash your mouth out, see. You'll have to after you eat vegan chocolate. I had a couple of friends in the UK trying to encourage me to be vegan. Yeah, it just doesn't go well with me, I'm afraid. Vegetarian's fine. Vegan's kind of overkill. Yeah, we're almost there at Nant. Well done, you're there, but we're not yet. It's putting the brakes on. I didn't put the brakes on, it did. That's a funny scenario. I did notice it was putting me in the cab sometimes. I'd change the camera out of the cab and it would put me back. That's okay. Oh well, I think that will do for today anyway. no current destination probably sums up my day quite well, actually. I don't have anything planned for today, but I think it's actually raining again looking out there, which is a bummer because I wanted to do some weeding, but that's not going to happen today. But yeah, all good. Anyway, we shall see everybody again next week. I'm not sure what it will be. If Dovetail's putting out the 380, then I dare say I'll be recording tutorials for it on the weekend at some point. I am firing on the railway next weekend as well. Got a lot of firing this month, actually. Quite a lot. Don't tell my wife. It's not that she watches my streams or anything. Sometimes she does. I get in trouble when that happens. What else? What should we do next week? Does anybody have any requests? There we go. Actually, let me just stop the menu music before I get a bloody copyright strike. Let's pop over to something else. What else do I have? Nothing really. Oh well. Bloody menu music. And it's eaten my cursor again. Train Sim Classic, folks. Cursor's gone. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's just eaten it. It has eaten it. There we go. Kill the game. That'll make it go away. That'll give it back to me. Railworks, where are you? Die, die, die. There we go. It's all good. Okay. Now we've got nothing but black. I could really scare you. There you go. So, what are we going to do next week? Something slightly crazy and off the wall. Is that possible in trains? I don't know. Does that mean we need a bus next week? I'll see. We'll see what comes up. We'll see what's in the Steam sale right now. I should mention, do my ambassador thing. All of the Train Sim Classic, well, I shouldn't say all, but nearly all of the DLCs are on sale this week. Train Sim World also has some significant sales this week, and I believe that one's on multiple platforms, not just Steam. So take a look out on your favourite platforms, see what you get, and if there's things that take your fancy, we can do stuff. Actually, before we go, just to reward the people that are watching, I'm gonna just bear with me just a moment while I find some keys. Just making sure this doesn't come up on the screen. It's not going too good. So, if someone claims these, let me know. This is Sherman Hill, Train Sim World. What about some Train Sim Classic stuff? What have I got for Train Sim Classic? I've got... Oh, yeah. Bit of 5-circle action. Train Sim Classic. So if you like a bit of 5-circle action. What about... I don't know what that one is. What else have we got in here? That Clinchfield for Train Sim Classic. There's a good one for Train Sim Classic. Clinchfield. That's a pretty good one. We've given away Sherman Hill for Train Sim World. What about Sherman Hill for Train Sim Classic? There you go. So if anybody claims those keys, please let me know so I don't give them away again. Oh, actually, sorry, that one's given away. I've already given that one away. Let me just remove that message. Because that key's given away. That one isn't going to work. So instead, let me do this one. Where's another? Actually, I'll do another English one. South London Network. There we go. This is also TSC. South London Network. So let's put an X against that. Put an X against Clinchfield because they've been dropped in a chat and someone will take them sooner or later probably. 5-circle. 5-circle's already been claimed, in fact. There we go. And what else did I chuck in there? Sherman Hill for Train Sim World. Let's just open that up. So it was Sherman Hill, wasn't it? I better mark that as given away. Because someone will claim it sooner or later from the chat. There you go. Alrighty. well, have fun, folks. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much for watching. I thought I froze for a moment there, but no. That is hideous, me being that big, isn't it? That's really bad. Anyway, all good. I'll see you next week. I'll figure out what we're doing. We'll see. It'll be something. And we'll see if there's any streams during the week. If we get told about keys or anything, we'll go with that. Alrighty. Have fun, folks. See you later. And there goes Happy Cat. Bye. If I can find the button. I can't find the button. Oh no. Found it.